Kia ora. I'd like to talk to you today about our writing program at Epsom Normal Primary for Term 4. We have several areas of focus this term, and I'd like to share a few things about these areas with you. We have a very robust writing program at Epsom Normal. We give children tools to write with by teaching them about parts of speech, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, etc. We also expose them to different language features such as similes, metaphors, personification, etc. that they can include in their writing and create imagery, vivid pictures for the reader. Teachers also provide models of writing for children, and that's a really good way to lift children's writing, and it helps the teachers also to feel what it's like to be a writer in the shoes of the children. We also focus on teaching different genres, writing genres, such as recount writing, where they write about a lived experience they might have had. Environmental writing, where we take the children outside and they sketch various things such as our resident pigeons, trees, clouds or flowers, or whatever is current. They then return to the classroom and create a wonderful bank of vocabulary that they can draw on to create a little poem or a high quality piece of writing, just a small one we call a cameo. We have a big focus on exposition writing during the year also, where we present some sort of issue to the children. It might be something like, should we have McDonald's being sold at the school tuck shop? They take a stance for or against that issue, and then they have to write and try and persuade their reader to think the same way as they do. We have lots of fun with poetry. There's so many different types. The children really enjoy creating poems. And this term, our main focus is narrative writing. And in narrative writing, we work very hard on teaching the children about the structure of a narrative, because telling a story orally is very different from writing one. When you tell a story, you can use your facial expression, your tone of voice, your body language to convey a lot of detail that's often missed when you're telling a story. But when you're actually writing it down, the reader expects more and needs more so that they have a clear idea of what's happening in the narrative. So to this end, we work very hard on teaching children how to hook their reader in a narrative, making sure that there's a strong opening sentence, something like, it all happened on a dark, stormy night. In that introduction, which we call the orientation, the children present their character or characters and the setting for the story, where it takes place. And towards the end of the orientation, we want them to add a little bit of tension. For example, in the story of Red Riding Hood, the writer might say, and in that deep dark wood, there lived a big bad wolf who liked to prey on unsuspecting passers-by. Something like that to make the reader want to read more. The next two paragraphs are when the writer introduces some sort of problem in the narrative that may be solved or may not be resolved. And that leads into the climax, which tells about the events just leading up to the end of the narrative and wrapping it up. What happens before then, building everything up to the big end result, and then finally the resolution, where we find out what happens. So we work very hard on those things. And we're having our writing assessment for term 4 taking place in week 3 of this term. So that will have a narrative focus. The children will be given some sort of narrative story starter, and they have to create their own narrative. So we're looking forward to seeing what they come up with. Our other main area of focus this term is writing for our art exhibition, and that's going to take place in week 7 on Friday, December the 3rd. And every class will be producing a class booklet of writing, and the writing will have some sort of link to the art exhibition. For example, I know some of the senior classes are working on writing about a famous artwork in a creative way, or a modern artwork, and other classes might have show not tell as a focus, and that's when you might write about an emotion such as anger, but you don't actually say what emotion you're writing about. You use words to show what you're writing about. For example, you might say, oh, the boy's hands curled into fists and steam poured out of his ears, or something like that. So we're looking forward to some wonderful writing booklets, one per class, that each child can contribute to, and we'll be sharing those with you at the end of the year. So looking forward to a wonderful term of writing. If you want to know more about your child's class and what else they'll be doing in writing, you can check that on the website, where each team will have further detail about what they're covering for the rest of the term. So we're looking forward to the end results, and we know we've got some wonderful writers at EMPS. Thank you.